I can see myself with someone else. I got used to having you around. Still, I just can't make it make sense. 'Cause I'll admit I have my doubts. Darling, how do we become strangers? There are answers I can't find. Was there something in your touch that slowly started changing? We were lost before we realized, too afraid to cross the line. You and I, we were slowly breaking. But there are reasons we'll never find out, like how we burned out with no goodbye. Was it in the timing or the way we should have tried? We were falling even when we tried to climb. Guess some love's just left behind. Guess some love's just left behind.
I still replay the words we never said. A quiet ache lingers in my mind. Yeah, I trace the moments that I can't forget, but blood will slip out of time. Darling, how do we become strangers? There are answers I can't find. Was there something in your touch that slowly started changing?
We were lost before we realized,
Holding on to broken
signs. You and I, too close to feel the fading. But there are reasons we'll never find.
We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with the summer heat. The world outside can't wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds, your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be, got nowhere to be. Your hair's a mess, but you don't mind. You just laugh, let it fall where it lies. Coffee's cold, but we take a sip, talk about nothing. Let the morning slip. Oh, it feels like that, like summer air through window cracks. Oh, summer sun on quiet tracks. Oh, it feels like that, like the summer rain that falls so slowly on the naked skin upon your back. Oh, it feels like that, like a love song on a wall.